Hey everybody, it's Chappie here. This video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to because this is just going to be real talk today. I'm sitting here on top of the roof of my motorhome, and I'm trying to repair a few things that got damaged in a hailstorm that came through. And I'm looking all goofy and stuff. I gotta keep the sun off of me. But anyway, I have some things that are weighing on my mind today that make me just want to make this, honestly, this is just a talk from the heart. I'm not a perfect person. And I would wager to bet that you're not a perfect person either. And I'd bet that your siblings are not perfect people. I'd go so far to bet that your mom and dad were not perfect people. I'll bet you they made mistakes. I'll bet you your grandparents made mistakes. I'll bet you your kids make mistakes. The truth is, none of us at all are perfect people. And we're all going to make mistakes in our lives. But it's kind of like when you start to learn the piano for the first time. When you sit down in front of the piano and you decide, I'm going to become a master pianist, you have no idea, no concept, no clue as to how you're going to do that. So you seek help. You get somebody who has mastered the piano, or at least is more advanced than you are on mastering the piano, and you ask them, you say, can you help me master the piano? So they're going to start with some basic lessons, and those lessons are going to be fingering, right? They're going to let you know what the names of the keys are, where you place your fingers, how you move those fingers up and down the scale. They're going to teach you basic, simple terms, musical terms. They're going to see techniques, and you're going to have a choice. And the choice is either you're going to either practice that or you're not going to practice that. And in the beginning, we're excited. So we get on that piano, we start practicing, and then we realize this is harder than we thought. Being able to master the piano is much more difficult than we originally thought, but we still want to be a master pianist, so we try. And we fumble and we fail, and then we get better. And there's this war that goes on in our minds, which is telling you that just give up. You're not going to be able to learn the piano. The piano isn't for you. Other people, yes, but you know. But that's not true. Any one of us could actually learn and master the piano with the proper mindset, the proper mental fortitude, and the proper help and encouragement. So what happens is, just as we get discouraged and we feel like throwing our hands up and saying, I'm not going to do this anymore, our piano teacher shows up at our door and encourages us, and listen, this isn't something you can do overnight. You're reprogramming your mind to do something that it's not used to doing. You're reprogramming your fingers and your coordination to do something that it's not familiar with. And it's going to be frustrating, and there's going to be a battle in your mind that tells you you can't. And then there will be a day where you're really getting good at basic piano. And you find yourself pretty excited about it. And you're smiling and you're telling everybody how good you're doing. That everything's fantastic. That you are actually getting pretty darn good at the piano. And then you try to demonstrate that to somebody and you mess up. Your fingers don't work the way that they did just yesterday. For whatever reason, today is a difficult day for you to be able to play the song that you played nearly flawlessly yesterday. And so you get frustrated and you get a little bit embarrassed and you think to yourself, well, shoot, I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was. You know what, I should give up because this isn't me. This isn't who I am. I love the piano. I want to be a master pianist. I want to be a master pianist with all of my heart, but I just can't. So I might as well just go back to being me, going back to being who I was, doing what I did, continue to do the things that, I wasn't happy, but At least it was familiar. I'm going to go back to that. And then your good, beautiful, amazing piano teacher comes and says, no, that's not how this works. You got to push through that frustration. You got to push through the fallbacks and the slip-ups. Even the greatest pianist on the planet will hit the wrong note sometimes, the wrong key. And the song isn't completely flawed. There was a moment of discord, but the rest was beautiful and harmonious. Our lives are the same way. Our lives are the same way. When we decide we want to become a better person, when we decide we want to do better for ourselves, we go and we find somebody who can help us do that. And as we progress, we don't allow ourselves the mental blocks that we have that push us back into difficult thinking or difficult circumstances simply because we made a mistake, one mistake. We had a fallback, a slip back. And you as a good friend, you're not going to tell your friend who's trying hard to learn the piano, give up. You suck. You sucked before you started with the lessons. You were doing a good job, but clearly it's not for you. You're the same person you have always been. You're never going to be able to be anything better because you don't know how to play the piano. Well, maybe so. Maybe they don't know how to play the piano, but they've come a long ways. Maybe they're not a master pianist yet, but they've come a long way. And maybe they're going to hit some wrong notes and wrong keys, and maybe the music is not going to sound that great on certain days. But it doesn't mean that they can't become a master pianist. And it doesn't make them a bad person. It just makes them human. Humans make mistakes. Humans slip and fall. Even the best of us slip and fall. But it doesn't define us. It does not define us. And it doesn't define your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister. What defines your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your brother, or your aunt, or whomever? What defines them is, are they trying to be better and making mistakes along the way? Or are they don't care and they're not even trying? If someone doesn't care and they're not even trying, then that's their character. They're not a good person, and there's nothing you can do for them. Move on. But if someone is trying, they're trying earnestly and sincerely, but they have days where I almost said a bad word, where they mess up, it doesn't make them bad. It doesn't mean that they can't change. It doesn't mean that they are still the same person they always were. All that means is that they had a slip up. They fell. They stumbled. That even though they were skating along this ice rink nice and smoothly, they slipped and fell. Help them back up. Love them through the mistake. Forgive them. That's the hard part right there. Forgive them. And just know that there'll be a day when you mess up. Not on purpose, but you will mess up. I will mess up. Everyone will mess up. And hopefully, you will extend the same kind of grace, love, and compassion to the person who messes up against you as you hope to receive from others when you mess up. I hope that made sense. I literally just off the top of my head had this on my mind and decided I'm going to go ahead and make this video. Live in the happiness of today. Let go of the misery of yesterday. You cannot go back in time and change anything. So to hold on to it makes no sense. Throw it out and make room for good. Throw it out and make room for good. 5 minutes ago is a different moment. I can't go back and fix 5 minutes ago. But what I can do is say, hey, I made a mistake 5 minutes ago. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that the next 5 minutes is so much better than the last 5 minutes. That's all we can do. And if we're doing that, we're good people. Period.